Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going? I just wanted to update y'all on a really quick little feature that was added to PoB recently that I think a few people have already discovered, and it'll help a lot of you guys out. And that is loadouts. The loadouts feature was a collaboration between myself, Peachy, and Deathbeam. I did the initial work on it with the linking of the trees, and then Peachy and Deathbeam did the hard work of pushing it through the finish line. Huge thank you to them. Full collaboration on that. And yeah, I think this is an awesome feature that a few people have already discovered. I think Pox and Arrow are already looking at that, but I wanted to make sure that it was out there and you guys know about it in the greater world, specifically people that read POBs as well, because it's not super clear, obvious that it's there until you know about it. So what is the most common, or one of the most common problems with more complex POBs? When we get into endgame POBs these days, you may or may not know, but there can be multiple dropdowns, like right here with the trees. You can have multiple trees that you can manage. You can have multiple skills that you manage, multiple items. And in fact, if I open a new POB, go to one of my more complex ones, going through all of the acts, doing mid-game, end-game, expensive gear, etc. There's all these different drop-downs. It's really awkward kind of setting it up. So like if someone's looking at the really expensive end-game gear, but they're looking at like the level 88 passive tree, that might not sync up, or vice versa. They're looking at like the level 100 cluster jewel Voices Adorn setup, but they are still on, early game gear, really bad rares early game. It's not going to reflect exactly what the build maker is intending for the build. And so that's what this feature is intending to fix. And that is with this loadouts feature right here. So for the loadouts feature, you do need to be updated to version 2.43. If you look in the lower left right here, make sure that one says update ready. You update your POB, and then you're off to the races. So this is an example right here. It's very simple. So you get this drop down on the right here after your ascendancy setup, and it will show your loadouts. Above that dash line right there, you'll see which loadouts that you have. Below that are these additional features where you can make a new loadout. You get a drop down right here, you can make one, or you can sync it to make sure that they're all synced up. Or you can click the help right here that will teach you how to do it. Yeah, I'll just show you guys real quick. So the way that it's set up by default is as long as they have the same coloring, you can actually put colors in the names of your loadouts. So you can do the the notes color things like this. So you need the same colors, and then you need the same name. So for example, right here, I have something called default, and I have a default drop down right here. I have a default drop down right here. And in fact, this was a really cool thing that was added in addition, is in the configuration set, we get multiple of these, which is one of the best things that has been added. And this was done by Peachy or Deathbeam. I didn't do the configuration thing. This was a little bit extra hard work. If someone has, shock set to 40%, but that's their end game setup, that doesn't make sense at all for your league starter. But if that's just intended for your end game setup, they can have a league starter drop down as well. And that can be, tuned down, turn off shock, turn off scorch, turn off all that stuff. And you can have something that's a little bit more accurate. We have a drop down for the config set, items, skills, and tree. And if I just click bad loadout right here, you'll notice that if I right down here, we have bad loadout, bad loadout, bad loadout, and bad loadout right here. And I just checked random stuff. I put in, random trash and all that. And by just changing the configuration right here, it will change all of these at the same time. Additional feature right here is you see this brace notation. This was really clever. I think Peachy did this, which will allow you to link. I have this one passive tree, but I want it linked to 3 different item sets, or vice versa. And you can do that by, putting numbers in the columns to make sure that they match up. You can say this passive tree is for item set 1, 2, and 3, and make sure that they all link up together so it doesn't, there's no collisions right there. So that's a feature that solves a problem that I've run into a lot sharing, more complex league starter POBs, where you're progressing all the way from Act 1 all the way up until, level 100 and expensive gear. And, just trying to keep all that stuff synced. Particularly one of the worst ones is the configuration set, because your end game configuration is so different than, like your level 80, 90 configuration, once you get some like more advanced stuff. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys use it, and it makes your league starters easier. Tell your favorite build creators about it if you like this feature, and get them using it, because I think it'll make things a lot easier. It is really important, I think, to improve communication of what is intended from the build maker to the build consumer, and that will just make everything better for everybody. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna go get ready for the stream, and I hope to see you there. Bye.